Yeah. Chime. Yeah. Chime. Well, everyone, welcome to Judson Memorial Baptist Church. Thanks for coming out for this morning, right? Some of you may have tried to come in a different door and found it locked. So from now on, we're only using the red arcade doors for entry and exit and entry. And you may say, oh, that's just me. I can slip in. No, you can't. Here's an example why. At IKEA, major department store, right? We all been there, been lost, wondered why. There's all this stuff there, right? Many times. A back door was left ajar. Someone just went out to get something in their car. And when the door was ajar, ice went in. Found an undocumented worker. Luckily, the worker was savvy enough to hide in IKEA, in the warehouse, and was able to avoid detention. But we can't, there's many things we can't control. So you may think, well, I'm just going to go out the side door real quick. As long as the door is open, that's an open invitation. It's a risk we can't take. So we are only using the red door on the arcade door for entry and exits. So thank you for abiding by that. I know it's a pain also too, but it's a small sacrifice for the bigger picture. So thank you for fighting by that. There are many things we have, right? I'm just going to ask you one thing. While we're gathered till about 10:20, don't look at your phone if you can. If there's an emergency, we're all going to be alerted and our phones will go off. But we have all been hypervigilant for the last 15 or so days, and let's just try to do that as much as we can. Now, if you have to and you look at it, no one's going to judge you, right? No one's going to give you that look, so you have that freedom to do that. So, but just to let you know, just try to, as we can be with one another, as much as we can right now. We want to welcome all those who are watching online. Thank you for taking some time to be with us this morning, and hope you're safe and hope you're warm, and I hope this time together is meaningful for you. This is a different kind of MLK Day for us. Before, I think in every situation that I've been alive, MLK Day has been kind of an historic appreciation, but today it feels like this is a possibility for all of us in a different and real-time way. So let's just be conscious of that as we walk through with one another. Remember, if you need some coffee, get some coffee, tea, water. If you just need to walk around and do whatever. I found that this week that I found 30 seconds of silence. I was at the library, and all I did was just sit down because I was waiting for somebody to move. And after about 30 seconds, I couldn't stop crying. So you may find yourself just in the middle of this, and all you need is a good cry. If we provided you the space to have a good cry, that would be worth everything. So whatever you need to do, find a space and time to do it this morning. All right, with that, I'll ask Pam to lead us in the call to worship.
Good morning. Please join me in the responsive call to worship, and as is fitting, you will be bold. Oh God, we pray, help us to envision a world that has never existed. A world where justice will roll down like water and righteousness like an ever-flowing stream. We hear your powerful calling to be servants in the service of all who are oppressed, the poor, the hungry, and the broken. Awaken the prophetic call inside each of us to be advocates and activists for all human rights. May we have the courage of Dr. King to stand up for justice, reconciliation, and truth until unarmed truth and unconditional love have the final word. We gather to give you our hearts and our hands, that we may join you in the mending of the world. May it be so. Please join in the opening hymn.
Sorry, there's a bunch of stuff going on, and we're all, this service may be a little bit of interjections like this, but this hymn was written this week after the hymn writer was talking to some pastors in Minneapolis. She penned this hymn, and that's why it's our opening hymn. It's to the tune Finlandia, which you probably know somewhere in there. And may we stand and sing this beautiful hymn, found printed in the bulletin.
Can I make the children join me up front this time, please?
I've never had someone, Caitlin, you've always been so nice and kind. But today it was, you brought your water bottle. But I don't know if y'all can hear this, but she just went, before she sat down, she said, "Move, Travis." Yeah, so. It's not the first time it's happened, is it? And it won't be the last. Okay, so everybody make a fist. Make a fist, yeah, you look at it. Kind of go around, back and forth, see how big it is. Yeah, we're not going to punch anybody with it, but this is about the size of your what? Your heart, exactly, it's the size of your heart. This is how big your heart is. You can put it right there where your heart is. Think about how big your heart is. They're about as big as your glasses. Yeah, so we got that. So, our hearts, so it's a wonderful muscle, this wonderful, amazing muscle that can do so much. But it's been the symbol for people the ancients used to think that it was your heart that gave you courage. It was the heart that made you fearless, or it was the heart that gave you strength. So have you ever, has a teacher ever called on you and you don't know the answer and your heart starts racing, you can feel it in your chest bumping? Yeah? Or have you, or you've been running a race? Or no punch face, no. Or you're at a race, and at the end of the race, you're sitting there, your heart's just going like crazy, trying to pump all this oxygen back to your system as always it can. And think about this blood system. It's going from the tip of your toes to the top of your head. All this circulation going on. The ancients thought that this right here was where our strength came from. Guess what?
Mom's fine.
No, your mom's here.
Dad.
Yeah.
Mom's dad, mom's dad died.
Your mom's dad's friends died?
Mom's dad died.
Oh, mom's sad because her friend died.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll pray for
Dad's
that.
doing good.
Yeah, it should be okay, but it's still sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so this heart that we have, we get this courage from. So if you looked at the front of the bulletin, these are called the Selma Saints. Do y'all know about the Edmund Pettus Bridge in Selma, Alabama, where the people walked across for the Civil Rights Movement? So these are all some of the Selma Saints. Who do you think this is right there in the middle? Martin Luther King, right, Jeff? Who is this right beside him? Do you know? Do you know who that guy is in the brown coat right there? John Lewis, exactly. Yeah, John Lewis, great. That's a young John Lewis. And this is Coretta Scott King, Martin Luther King's wife. And this is Ralph Abernathy from pastor of 16th Street Baptist Church. And this is Rosa Parks, so she's in the front row. And we got all these people, we think of them as being strong people, having big hearts. And right now, the world is in need of people with really big hearts. And it's a really scary time to have big hearts, but that's what we're being asked to be in this show. And here's the Jeopardy clue for today. Are you ready for this? It's not really a Jeopardy. You don't have to say what it is. But do you know the origin of the word courage? Yeah, let's hear it. No, well, that's a great, I love that you said that. I love that you said it was Greek. It's not. Yeah, it really comes from the old French that means heart. To have courage means that you lead with your heart. And when you all come up here on Sunday mornings, you have your smiles, you run up here, you roll your eyes at some of the things I say, or you're sitting there wondering, is he ever going to shut up? There's all those things that go on, or you're probably asking, like, please let this be the Sunday that we have no goodness, right? All those kind of things. But I see a group of people that come up that lead with their heart more than anything. And I just want to say thank you for your hearts. And keep on being courageous people. Is that good? Okay? All right, good. We got thumbs up, we got okay symbols. All right, we're good then. Now accept the blessing from the faith community that loves you. God be with you, and also with you.
Before I read the official introduction to this hymn, I'd like to say two things. One, if you're willing to be the worship leader, you just might get a hug from Caitlin. And two, this hymn, Lift Every Voice and Sing, was George Burby's favorite song. Lift Every Voice and Sing stands as one of the most enduring expressions of Black hope, resilience, and collective memory in the United States. Written as a poem by James Weldon Johnson and later set to music by his brother, J. Rosamond Johnson, the hymn has become widely known as the Black National Anthem. For generations, it has been sung in churches, schools, community gatherings, and movements for justice, carrying forward the stories, struggles, and triumphs of Black Americans. The song's verses trace a journey from the pain of oppression to the determination of a people who continue to march toward freedom. Its lyrics echo the faith, courage, and unbroken spirit that have shaped Black life in America, serving simultaneously as a prayer, a protest, and a proclamation of hope. As noted in contemporary reflections on the hymn, Lift Every Voice and Sing remains a powerful call to action, a reminder of ancestral strength, and a celebration of the ongoing pursuit of justice and liberation. Let's join in singing Lift Every Voice and Sing, and reflect on the quotes from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. that are interspersed with the lyrics. You'll find it in your bulletin.
Right to justice everywhere. We are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. Whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly.
An individual has not started living until they can rise above the narrow confines of their individualistic concerns to the broader concerns of all humanity.
Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others?
as Socrates, felt that it was necessary to create a tension in the mind so that individuals could rise from the bondage of myths and half-truths to the unfettered realm of creative analysis and objective appraisal. So must we see the need for nonviolent gadflies to create the kind of tension in society that will help us rise from the dark depths of prejudice and racism to majestic heights of understanding and brotherhood.
If you cannot fly, then run. If you cannot run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do have to keep moving forward.
If we are to have peace on earth, our loyalties must become ecumenical rather than sectional. Our loyalties must transcend our race, our tribe, our class, and our nation. And this means we must develop a world perspective.
Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that.
We must walk on in the days ahead with an audacious faith in the future.
I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character.
Give me 1 second here. It's not a very good look for the pastor to be blowing his nose right in front of you, so I just want to read one sentence from the Gospel of Luke, and well, just let me say this. Every, Colgate Rochester Crozer Divinity School is the school of Martin Luther King Jr. His pictures that were on the walls. My New Testament professor, the pulpit, the podium that he taught from had a little dedication that the class of King's class dedicated to him. On the wall was the letter that the school wrote to him, telling him that he was accepted now as a student. It was everywhere. Every Tuesday was worship in a black church tradition. And every Tuesday we sang the same hymn that you just sang, Lift Every Voice and Sing. There were preachers that would come in throughout the time that I was there that were personal friends of King's. And you got to hear stories of him. And it infiltrated every part of our being. And so on Martin Luther King Jr. Sunday is like Easter for Colgate Rochester grads. You know, I mean, you prepare for it all year. You think about what you're going to say, and you got to say, this year, you better make sure you bring your A game. This is the first year I ever, didn't know what I was going to say till about 5 minutes ago. Now, I had stuff written. I'm not saying that like I'm coming up here like, well, but it's different. In the Gospel of Luke, in this time, there's each Gospel has a certain section in it that tells you exactly what that person thinks Jesus is all about. So in Matthew, it's the Sermon on the Mount. In John, it's the 7 signs of Jesus. In Mark, it's those few parables. In Luke, it's the time in about the 21st, 22nd chapter, whatever. It's right after Jesus. There's this little time period where Jesus cleanses the temple and then before he's crucified. And in between those two events, we have parables and teachings that get to the heart of Jesus, what he's all about, because he knows death is imminent. He's got to say the last things off his chest he wants to share with people. And this is in Luke. This is what we get. And we get this one verse that I want to take from today. This will give you an opportunity to testify. Last week, in Concord, New Hampshire, or Concord, Episcopal Bishop Robert Hirschfeld, who was from Minnesota, spoke extemporaneously to a crowd that was gathered to mourn the death of Renee Good. He said these words extemporaneously. I have instructed my priests and all lay people to get their affairs in order, to make sure that they have their wills written. Because it may be that now is no longer the time for statements, but for us, with our bodies, to stand between the powers of this world and the most vulnerable. He went on to later to say, what did he mean by those words? I mean for everyone to have their spiritual souls prepared. This is the first day of the rest of your life, and it may be your last day. I think what I've come to is that we are living in increasingly perilous times. I've sat with those words. They've kept me up at night. And they also keep me from sometimes going outside the house. Those are real words right now, not just rhetoric. Throughout my 51 years of existence, probably like you, there's been times when I've come close to death. There's a few close calls with a car. The time I almost fell off a cliff. The time I was just about to swallow poison unknowingly. The normal kinds of stuff. I've only had a gun pulled on me once. It happened on the corner of Cedar and the Parkway. A guy almost ran over a kid on a bike, and I screamed at him. He pulled a gun on me, pointed it at me, and laughed, then pulled away. As a kid, like as a kind of a weird Protestant, evangelical, Christian kid, I was obsessed with martyrdom. The bloodier and gorier the stories of the saints who were tortured by lions and bears and tigers, I couldn't get enough of those stories. The stories of the saints in England who were on the rack and were pulled apart, burned at the stake, I mean, you can't make that stuff up. It is fantastic to read. But it was always fiction. Somewhere away, not here. In divinity school, we read about Dietrich Bonhoeffer and all the saints who were also killed and martyred in World War II. We saw all the civil rights movement saints. They were plastered on our walls. Martin Luther King Jr., killed in Memphis. Medgar Evans, killed in his driveway. The bombing of the 16th Street Baptist Church and the 4 little girls. The seminarians and pastors, James Reeb, who was a St. Olaf grad. You can go there and there's the James Reeb reading room in the library. Jonathan Daniels, the pastor from New Hampshire who went down to South. I've often thought, what would I have done in a similar circumstance? And now here we are, in the midst of a possible time just like that. And there's a real possibility that we may just be in the wrong place at the wrong time. That we may be standing up and just our physical presence is enough for someone else to lose it. And me, or you, or a colleague, or a family member, or a friend, or a neighbor, or someone we love may no longer be on this side of the Jordan, but will be on the other side. In all honesty, I would suspect that all of us, all we really want to be, just normal, everyday, quiet, blend in the room, vanish, boring Baptist people. This may be the only time you would agree to that. Life is tense here right now. Here's just an anecdote to share just how tense it is. Even the dogs know how tense it is. There's neighborhood dogs here in Kingfield. I know most of them. They know me. We feed them treats. They play with me. Chester and Spike. You don't know Chester and Spike. I'm giving names because I don't want to incriminate these 2 dogs because they're wonderful. Chester is one of those dogs that as soon as he opened the door, he walks outside, he does his business, and then all he wants to do is to go back inside. Spike, just a yappy dog, full of energy, just wants to love on you. This week, Chester did his normal, just kind of looked at me, and then looked at his owner and was like, "Can we please just go home?" But Spike snapped at me, right on my hand. Luckily, I had a glove on. Even the animals know what's going on here in a very tense and real way. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if the military is going to be called in. I don't know if the Insurrection Act will go into effect. Will our own government continue to turn on its own citizens? I don't know what Renee Good's expression of faith was at that moment when she was killed. I don't know what brought her there specifically to 34th and Portland to participate in that act. But I do know that for 2 summers as a kid, as a college-age student, she spent summers in Northern Ireland as a Bible study leader, working as a youth minister. She was in the homes of people, she listened to their stories, and she was a presence in their lives. And I can't help but think that there is some part of her, some part of Northern Ireland that put her at 34th and Portland as an expression of her faith. I don't want to die for oil or territorial expansion. I don't even want to die for democracy. But I would die for my kids. And I would die for my community. Wouldn't you? I said this last week, but again, during the march when we were in South Minneapolis, the apartment of a Hispanic family that just was making the heart sign with their hands as we walked by. I think those hearts are worth our lives. I think of my LGBTQIA plus family members and friends. I want them to live in a world where they are loved and free to be themselves. And that freedom is worth our lives. I think of this church as an inclusive, bold, prophetic, compassionate, encouraging community. It's worth our lives. For months I've been saying and thinking and praying that the Trump administration just may make Christians out of us. By that I mean the cruelty of this administration is forcing us to look at our faith, our core, to see is there something greater than ourselves, greater than our anger and frustration? Is there a power of movement greater than ourselves that our ancestors drew from that is worth us drawing from that well in this moment as well? As scary as it is, as frightening as it is, I am discovering so much moral courage in my colleagues, in my neighbors, in my immediate family, and in you. The moments of awe are many. And these experiences are remarkably miraculous. Last night a poem appeared, maybe you saw it, by Ali Sheminkli. If I'm saying the name wrong, I apologize. It's called The Land of 10,000 Lakes. Lands of cabins and bonfires and beer. Lands of you betcha, and I'm just going to sneak right past you. Land of cream of mushroom soup. Land of tater tot hot dish. Land of shoveling your neighbor's walk. Land of holding open the door. Land of the loon's call across the lake. Land of northern lights painting the sky. Land of the wilderness and the wild. Land of the Mississippi River's birth. Land of small things turning mighty. Land of tear gas plumbing against an umbrella. Land of children too scared to go to school. Land of blood on the car's headrest. Land of boots and camo and guns. Land of SUVs flooding our streets. Land of masked men at my favorite gas station. A land of masked men demanding to see your papers. Land of masked men kicking doors down. Land of masked men choking people I know. Land of masked men brutalizing high school students. Land of whistles shrieking in the night. Land of whistles shrieking in the morning. Land of whistles shrieking in the afternoon. Land of crying in your car. Land of bullets and shovels and brooms. Land of people stolen from their cars and their jobs and their homes. Land of those who left. Land of neighbors. Land of this is your home, no matter where you come from. Land of whistles. Land of crowds. Land of kicking the tear gas back under the SUV. Land of a sex shop turned community center. Land of grocery store drop-offs. Land of community patrols. Land of signal chats and zines. Land of printing in multiple languages. Land of you belong here and we will prove it. Land of proving it. Land of learning that love is a verb. Land of finding out exactly who you are and what you are made of. Land of drums and song and rally. land of all-night noise outside of any hotel that dares house the devil, land of ice agents slipping on ice, land of winter and frostbite, land of nature as our first love and ally, land of tater hot dish discreetly delivered, land of cabins offered for a safe place to rest, land of northern lights, our cell phone screens flashing luminous across the internet as we film, land of 10,000 neighbors, land of small things turning mighty, land of the Minnesota goodbye. Don't you know, we are bad at saying goodbye to those we love. We could stay here all night, shoes on in the entryway, refusing to open the door. That's worth dying for. I know there's the threat of the Insurrection Act and martial law and the elimination of the midterms. But here's what this administration doesn't get. We're not fighting for the Democratic Party or the continuing of the growth of capitalism. We're fighting for human rights. We're fighting for neighborliness. We're fighting for those heart-shaped hands. We're fighting for the kingdom of God. We're fighting for the beloved community. And that is a fight worth fighting for. And may we dare say, it is a fight worth giving our lives for. Amen. You're invited to bring your prayer intentions forward at this time, either in the wooden bowl if you'd like for them to be read in community. If you'd like them to remain private, please put them in the metal bowl. After that, Pam and I will read the intentions aloud.
and praise of the righteous anger that has prudish Midwesterners cursing in public with no shame.
I've already, excuse me, I've already had 9 lives. I count on, or maybe it's 10, and on the 11th I lived, and so every day from now on is a day of purest grace.
More to pray for than this paper can hold. But I pray for my dear friend, Titi, and her neighbors who live on the block where Renee Good was murdered.
Thanksgiving for friends who send you $200 worth of hot hands to give out, because even though they are on the East Coast, they are still in community with you.
Peace, please.
May the spirit of compassion embolden us within this struggle, within our dear city, within our fair state, and with this country.
May love and kindness change people's hearts.
Well, the Germans studied the USA to form their Nazi program. We are a Nazi nation built on slave police.
May that which is bigger than us give us the strength, fortitude, love, faith, and inspiration we need for these days.
From the pulpit and throughout the community, Judson is very fortunate to have a socially involved pastor. We are very proud of you, Travis.
God of all, keep us loving everyone and hopeful. Help us to see beauty and truth.
God, this is not the world students deserve. Help me fix it.
Let the neighbor kid who crosses the street unsafely and won't tell the other kids or adults his name and his family stay safe.
Safety for all. May the temperature go down. May the National Guard help calm this city. Holy angels protect us.
I love Minnesota. I love my neighbors.
Overcome evil with good.
I'm praying for God's Spirit to help me love my enemies and pray for those who despitefully use you.
For courage to love enough to act, for stamina to finish well what I started.
May the Spirit, which is holy, guide your every thought and action and comfort you in your fear.
Andy and her family here from Columbia, may they be safe.
We shall overcome. We have many prayers in the bowl. I will ring the bowl, but as we do that, I'll ask you if you could say the Lord's Prayer. This is an inclusive version. And when you read it, you know, we prayed the Lord's Prayer a few thousand times in our lives. The line that I just, save us in the time of trial, never is rang more true than it does today. Blessed One, our Father and our Mother,
for the call to offering, we're going to sing the offertory hymn, Precious Lord, Take My Hand. I just want to say a little bit of note about the church building use. Every day we receive multiple requests for people to use this church. For both, today there's going to be a group that are just making meals for kids because, the Minneapolis, if kids that can't come to school, they don't have meals. And there's neighborhood groups making meals. There's neighborhood groups that'll be using this place for planning, for strategizing. People are asking, can we just come and sit in silence? Can we just come and just be here to use this? So I always say, if you're going to own a church building in these days, you have to earn it. And people are asking us, I think we're earning it. So I just want you to know that sometimes maybe all you can do, or one of the things you do passively, ends up being quite aggressive of just having a place for people to come and be. Be pleased to see that we got to get comfortable. We got a little bit of announcements here, right, folks? So for that, a lot of things that are going on. First off, I just want to say Dylan has more whistles that he has for you. Most of the whistles are printed with the Minnesota National Lawyers Guild hotline on the whistle. Call if you are detained or if you see someone you know being detained. Previous whistles had the Monarca hotline on them, but please do not call Monarca they're being swamped. If you see someone being abducted or detained, call Monarca. But if you don't call to say ICE is here or there, they're receiving multiple calls per minute from around the metro area. So make sure that you have those numbers with you, though. Monarca's hotline and the Minnesota National Lawyers Guild. This week, there's gone out a national call for clergy to come to Minneapolis to partake in the march on Friday. This is they're saying this is the opportunity as King put out for clergy to come from all over the country to come to Selma. They're asking clergy to come to Minneapolis. But what we need from you is there's going to be a lot of clergy, and we're not asking people not to stay in hotels because it's not safe to stay in hotels in Minneapolis. So we're needing people to host. So Lori has a clipboard, a sign-up sheet that we have that people will be arriving on Wednesday. People will be leaving probably on Saturday. There's going to be a few here on Sunday. Some people that are because of flights. I don't want to say there's a conspiracy, but I cannot for the life of me figure out why all of a sudden anywhere in the nation wants to fly to Minneapolis, the flights are over $700. And to Des Moines, $700. And to Madison, $700. So the people are coming in with the big expense, and if you can help out in whatever way, that means if you can pick somebody up from the airport, if you can host them, if you can be a meal. So Lori's got the clipboard, and she'll be walking around with that. This Friday is calling for a statewide strike. There will be a march that will be happening downtown. If you know about that, please make sure that you're planning to. So that'll be happening. So please be aware of that. Again, the church usage, there may be times where you come by and all of a sudden it looks like there's a revival going on here. It's probably just people using the church for community purposes. Some of those meetings are public. By that I mean we can advertise. Some are private and not to be shared. So we're not going to put those out. Obviously they're there. So just be ready for that. Again, remember we're only using the red door for entry and exit, trying to make it as safe as possible as we can. We have signs on the back in the library. We've designated the library as a private area, and we have designated my office as a private area. So if there is a possibility of ICE coming here, those are two private places you can go. The library would not be my first choice, right? My office is two doors. You can lock both of them with locks. I mean, you can get back there. The library is just if we have to. That's an emergency place that we have going on. If you want to give money to places, there'll be links tomorrow in the email. There's a group called Stand With Minnesota. Ashley Fairbanks, who is a Native American activist, has put this list on, vetted all the places that you can give for trusted resources. Or when friends call you and say, what can I give? That's a great place to give for that you have. And last, you'll see the community benefit also that's coming up on March 1st, benefiting Joyce Food Shelf. Joyce Food Shelf is giving away something like 14,000 pounds of food every 3 days. There's what's called, rage baiting. We've all been part of that. Right now there's also what's called rage giving, where people are just flooding food banks and all these places with resources, and it's great. But it's money that's going right out the door. They're not standing by. So for that. And lastly, we'll just say T-shirts. At this church we've always had T-shirts, ideas. We've had some great ones. The church sign that's out front has been made into a T-shirt. A place in Iowa has made it that you can order. I don't get any kickback. The church doesn't get any kickback, actually. But they did ask, where do you want the funds to go to? And they are going to organizations in Minneapolis that are helping feed kids during this time. So if you want to do that. I never thought that a church little analog sign would do that much to where a t-shirt would be out of it, but hey, we'll take it. Little do you all know that everywhere in life I go up to somebody and say, hey, it's my first time here. Can I get a t-shirt? And they always say no, except for one time, and I'll tell you that story later. I can't say it from the pulpit. But that's a whole different story. But there we are. We got lots going on, Barbara.
I was at a town hall meeting Friday night at the Swiss Institute. A lot of our leaders, Senator Omar was there, as well as Senator Fateh, and our council people. The Hennepin County was there, and one of the things that's happened is that some of these people are being taken and children are left in the homes alone.
Yeah.
If you know of any children that are being left behind, call the emergency number with Hennepin County. They will get somebody out there. The child will not go into foster care. They will be placed with family where they can. The children don't know their parents' birth date, and the ICE has fallen behind on tracking people, so these people are being disappeared. Without that birth date, they can't find the people, but even then, they're not doing the work. These are your tax dollars paying for ICE. There is no more social services because the money's being spent on this police state.
Yeah. And just as you know, as we close, after the post salute, if you want any information that we can't share public about ways that are going on, we will have a little Q&A on that. If you haven't downloaded the Signal app yet, please do so, and we'll show you how to do that and other things. But also, if you are delivering food, if you are tracking ICE agents, however, just know that all of that information is being collected in your data. Don't think that you can do any of this work in anonymity. Just know that, and just go for it. And I think that we can't be intimidated by that. Loving our neighbor Jesus didn't say, love your neighbor, but just like this, Here we are. All right, that's announcements. We gotta get going. Yeah.
I showed them our sign.
Oh, sure. Yeah. People. Yeah. Okay. Everybody exhale. Here in a minute, you can look at your phones all you want to. But for right now. Siblings of God, I charge you to leave this place with courageous hearts. And it's the scariest thing to say, to look out at you and think, this is the last time we say goodbye. Every day is going to be like that from now on. So may we go with hearts that are full of love and courage, with hearts that continue to beat and circulate compassion. For you are forgiven, loved, and freed. And nothing can stop that. Go forth and be the people that God has called you to be. Amen. Just remind you that Lori has the clipboard and will be signing up if you can host a clergy person this week. Thanks. Thanks, Jim.